The ice in my glass didn't clink. I'd taught myself to hold still years ago. The sunlight was too bright on the manicured lawn of the Oakwood Country Club. It was a stage. They were the actors. I was the audience, silent, positioned perfectly. Then I heard her voice, sharper than the snap of a golf swing. "Get us the owner right now!" my ex-wife Sarah yelled, her face a mask of entitlement I knew so well. "He doesn't belong here. Look at him!" Her new husband, Mark, a man whose tailored suit couldn't hide his hollow core, stepped up. "Remove him immediately!" The words were an order, an insult delivered with practiced arrogance. "He's clearly a mistake." A mistake? I felt a quiet internal shift. The controlled rage, years in the making, finally found its release in a slow, calculated breath. I stood quietly, letting the scene play out, observing the fine details of their predictable fury. Their focus was entirely on the manager, a middle-aged man named David, who was listening with a strained politeness. They hadn't seen me yet. Not really. The betrayal had arrived 5 years ago, not with a shout, but with a whisper, the soft, chilling whisper of a legal document. Paternity test results. A child I had loved, raised, and sworn to protect was not mine, not biologically. Sarah's tears then were an Oscar-worthy performance, a mix of frantic apologies and calculated lies about a moment of weakness years before our wedding. I didn't yell, I didn't break anything, I just watched her, the love draining out of me like bathwater, leaving behind a cold, hard stone of realization. She hadn't just cheated, she had stolen years of my life, my devotion, and my emotional truth. I remember the silence of that apartment, not even the humming of the refrigerator. I didn't confront her, not with words. Confrontation was messy. I chose disappearance. I signed the papers, gave her the house, and vanished from their world. I let them believe I was broken, ruined, easily discarded. That was the setup. The years that followed were not spent grieving, but building. A quiet, surgical process of reinvestment, of strategy. I needed one thing: leverage. A point of maximum vulnerability. The manager, David, finally broke the tension, turning to me with a slight, almost imperceptible nod, a secret signal only we shared. Sarah and Mark, still focused on him, didn't register the shift in his body language. "Sir," David said, his voice measured, polite, yet holding a razor edge I had authorized. "How would you like to handle their family's membership?" The question hung in the air, a single devastating bomb. Sarah's loud, self-righteous rant died in her throat. Mark's jaw, fixed moments before in a sneer of dismissal, went slack. They both slowly turned, following David's respectful gaze, their eyes finally landing on me. My face was a neutral slate. I offered nothing, no smirk, no anger, no satisfaction. Just silence. The cold, calculated silence of a verdict already passed. They looked at the club's owner, the one they had just demanded be thrown out. Their eyes dropped from my composed face to the crest on my blazer, the same crest embroidered on the club's flags, napkins, and entrance sign, the one I had bought, rebuilt, and now controlled. "I think," I said, my voice low, a near whisper that cut through the country club noise like shattered glass. I held up a single, crisp legal document I'd been holding, the notice of immediate, non-refundable membership revocation. I didn't need to say more. The paper spoke for me. The truth, finally exposed, was a weapon that always found its mark. Their faces, the shock, the instantaneous shift from arrogance to absolute horrified realization, it was better than any apology I could have ever demanded. It was the moment they understood the depth of the ocean they had thrown me into, and the quiet, terrifying way I had learned to swim. I looked down at the membership revocation notice, then back up at them. I saw only two figures from a story that was now, finally, closed. They no longer held any power over my pulse. David, I instructed, my eyes fixed not on their crumbling expressions, but on the distant, clear horizon. Escort them out, and ensure they never set foot on this property again. My glass still didn't clink. The stone in my chest had turned to polished steel. They had traded me for comfort, for perceived status. I traded their status for control. I turned and walked away, not looking back. The finality was not in the walking, but in the emptiness I felt, a clean, final detachment. They had tried to erase me. I simply erased them.